Hello, my name is Nell, and I have things to say. Last night, I fell off the wagon. I think we all have a wagon. That thing that represents a weakness, something we struggle with, something that we know we shouldn't do, but we keep wanting to. And that is often in the back of our mind, something that is present with us every day, and we are fighting it every day. Mine is self-harm. And before I go any further, I'm planning on putting a notice at the beginning of this video about being a trigger warning. But I just want to reiterate, in this video I will be talking about self-harm. I will be using words to describe self-harm. Not sure how much detail I'm going to go into, but if this is a topic that you are sensitive about, if this is something that you are aware that triggers you, or if it's something where you're just uncomfortable about it, please make a wise decision about watching this. I do not want to trigger anyone. I don't want to push anyone else off their wagon. So please keep that in mind. But with that being said, let's talk. It's strange. I haven't performed any self-harm. So the self-harm I did was cutting. Another self-harm I do is to pull my fingernails off and leave them in just little bloody stumps that hurt when I do anything. I have done that. Maybe a few months ago I did that, but I haven't cut in a really long time, in probably about a year. I'd say it's about a year, which is pretty incredible. I am patting myself on the back for how long I managed to stay on the wagon, because in the past 12 or so months I have moved into my own flat, which meant like uprooting everything where I'd been in my parents' house for 8 years and moving and getting used to a new environment. I've had an increase in workers. I've picked up about 3 or 4 extra support workers. My mother has been through 2 major surgeries, and I lost Marley, my 15-year-old dog, who was my best friend, my elderly son, and my dementia-addled life partner. And through all of that, I stayed pretty well on the wagon. I was kicking my legs over the side a little bit, but I stayed on the wagon. The thing that has toppled me this time is, of all things, a computer issue. On my external hard drive is everything. My life. 10 years worth of photos, documents, medical files, stuff I've written, letters I've written to friends, information I've collected about my various illnesses, photos, just the photos are the main thing that I'm getting back to, and it's disappeared. The computer repair place has it. They've had it since Thursday, and they're scanning and trying to recover, and there's no sign of it. So I am facing losing all that, and that's what knocked me off my wagon. I've felt utterly defeated and lost, and I felt it's kind of ironic that, my family has made it through fire season. We had our bags packed, ready to go. We're fine. We lost nothing. And then now, on a stormy week, I might have lost everything on that hard drive. It's a small thing, but it's a massive thing. And I'm particularly being hit by the fact that there are lots of photos of Marley on that flash drive that I don't have access to. I post a lot of things on social media, probably too much. A lot of pictures of my animals, because they are perfection. I've got one right here. This is Maggie, and I post her a lot because she is just perfection. But I have a lot of photos that I don't put up publicly, and you know, a lot of memories. There are a lot of memories on the hard drive, and I'm facing a reality where I don't have access to that. And yeah, so last night before I went to bed, I'd been thinking about it all day. And last night before I went to bed, I went ahead. If you are not a self-harmer, if that's not something that you do, I'm not sure if it's possible for you to understand what it feels like to be a self-harmer. It is, I keep bringing that on as almost a label, but it is a part of my identity. A part of the way that my brain functions is to involve self-harm in my list of coping mechanisms. So I'm going to have a go at describing what it feels like to me. And this will not apply to everybody who performs self-harm, but it is a way that I have found that describes me. So I'll have a go. When I'm experiencing emotional or psychological pain or distress, I'm not always sure how to express it. I'm not really sure how to articulate it. Can't seem to put it into words, and I'm not very good at crying. I will want to cry and just nothing comes. Just nothing. I feel very emotionally impotent. Nothing is coming out. I can't. Yeah, I just can't express how I'm sad or why I'm sad, and I can't understand it. I can't fully process my pain because I don't know what to do with it. It just feels very abstract. It's abstract. It's something that I cannot hold on to, and I cannot present as something understandable. But when I self-harm, I feel as though I can start to understand my pain. I make a cut on my body, and instead of going, why do I hurt? You know, where is this hurt coming from? I think, why do I hurt? Oh, it's that's why. It's because I ran a pair of scissors over my arm. That's why. And like I said, I don't really cry, but in a weird way, once I've made a cut and blood starts to bubble out, it helps me cry. It's like when you see somebody else cry and that kind of triggers you. It's seeing my body cry helps me cry. And it's really a very tangible representation of pain. And as time goes on, you know, as those cuts are healing, if I need to understand my pain again, try to check in with my pain, I will put pressure on my cuts and on my wounds, and I'll feel that pain again, and I'll think, oh, there we go. That's why I'm hurting. There we go. It's so bizarre. I know it doesn't make sense. I know it's weird. And my poor mother, I've been self-harming since I was about 12 years old, and my mother has never known. I've always hidden it as dog scratches or scratches from playing outside. My mother never knew, and then once I had to tell her when I was going through a lot of therapy, she was utterly astounded and could not process it. And I've had a lot of these conversations with her, and she still can't, and I'm glad she can't. Because if you can't understand this, then you will not be tempted. But for me, I am tempted. And I think the thing that is most frustrating is that last night I self-harmed, and I do not regret it. I'm glad I did it. I feel better. I feel a lot better. And when I did it, so all up I've made 5 defined cuts. A couple of other ones are just scratches where the skin didn't break. But I started with 2, and then I thought, not enough. Did it again. It felt so good. I cannot explain that. I can explain some of the psychological stuff that goes into the need to self-harm, but I cannot explain the satisfaction of hurting yourself. I don't think it's a self-hate thing. I don't think it's because I think I deserve to be hurt. I think it's that I already hurt, and I need something to show me why I hurt. So when you go to the doctor and the doctor checks you over and says that there's nothing wrong with you, and you still feel that there's something wrong, but you feel like you're going crazy. You want something that tells you that what you're experiencing is real. And so when you go to the doctor and they're like, hey, actually, here it is on a scan, here it is on a blood test, we know why you hurt. There's something there. There's something physical and tangible. It is satisfying. And you don't feel so lost, and you think, there we go. And for me, I think that's the way self-harm works. And then afterwards, once I've done it, self-care becomes a very physical thing. I wash my arm. I put cream on it. Maybe I'll put bandages on it. Check on it each day. Make sure that they're scabbing up right. It makes more sense to look after a cut than to look after a heart. It's easier somehow. And for me, I don't self-harm with the purpose of suicide. My camera cut off. I'm not really sure how or why. But yeah, self-care makes more sense when there is something physical to care for. It's just, it is easier. And I do not self-harm for the purpose of suicide. The places I self-harm are not going to cause injuries that would lead to suicide. I'm not going to tell you where I would, because I don't even want to put that into anyone's head, but I don't do it for suicide. And I think about suicide regularly, and I would not do it with a sharp object, and I would not do it through wounds. It's not as secure, it's not as guaranteed, and it's messy for anyone who comes after. And I don't, that's not the way that I would go if that was the scenario. So when I self-harm, it does not mean that I want to commit suicide. It doesn't mean that I don't, but it doesn't automatically mean that I'm trying to end my life. What it does mean is that I am in such overwhelming pain that I see no recourse other than to open my skin and let my skin bleed. And yeah. I'm trying not to consider myself a failure, which is what you want to think when you've fallen off the wagon, whatever that wagon might be, because I've done well. I've done very well. I've had a good run. Had a good run of about 12 months, possibly more. I think more than 12 months, where I did not put blade to skin. I'm proud of myself in that. I really am. I have to take that. I have to take that as victory and a win. And now just the clock resets. And I'll just try to get through the next couple of days and weeks and months, and hopefully another whole year at least, without falling off the wagon again. But I am not a failure. And if you're struggling with self-harm and you've done it, you've fallen off the wagon, it's okay. You're not a failure. The wagon is still there. You can still climb on up there. Sometimes you'll be safe and snug in that wagon and you're not falling out anywhere. Other times you're just holding on for dear life and you might topple off. But it's okay. Keep aiming for the wagon. And if you are self-harming, please keep yourself clean. Wash your wounds. Dress them. Make sure you have an antibiotic cream to put on them. Try not to pick your scabs. I know it's so hard. I know it is so hard, particularly because that's an extra satisfying way of continuing the pain release. And that's the thing. It is a release of something. I mean, some people watch scary movies, and it's the release of adrenaline, and it somehow like pleases them. I can't understand that, but I do understand self-harm. So as hard as it is, try to leave your cuts alone. Try to leave the scabs alone. Let them heal. Love yourself. Treat that as your therapy, by looking after your cuts. You made them. You gave birth to them. They're your babies. Take care of them. Help them stay safe and healthy. So that's all. I feel very nervous about putting this out. I'm filming Sunday now. I don't know when I'm gonna put this out, when I get the gumption. I'm okay-ish. I'm okay-ish. But that's fine. Ish is fine. Yeah, and I'll get there. I'm looking at the wagon. It's looking good. I'm gonna climb back on up there and see how far I make it. Alright, that's all I have to say today. Stay safe.